Good morning, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is a politically charged stock market pre-show giving you the politics behind the biggest moves in the stock market. It is presented with comedic common sense by an expert in financial literacy, and hey, that's me, Larry Steinhouse. All right, today is Thursday, February 3rd, and I want to welcome you to the show. We are here live on WWDB Radio, 860 AM in Philadelphia, and we are live on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Hey, if you guys want to find me on social media, you can find me on social media in TikTok and other social media by searching Larry Steinhouse. Just a reminder, if you're watching the show on Facebook or anywhere else, hit that like button and hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, which keeps getting taken down because of medical information from articles I read from the Wall Street Journal. I'm still blown away by this. I'm having an argument with YouTube right now. I read an article in the Wall Street Journal on this show, and they're telling me it's medical information, misinformation that Pfizer actually put in the article. Anyway, you can leave comments on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and please say hi so I know you're watching. Real quick, I'm going to say hello to some of my regulars. Hey, Bill and Joe and Carrie, thanks so much for watching. I totally appreciate it. And by the way, if you're commenting from a group and not the Money Chat Now fan page, your name may not show up my dashboard, so please go to the Money Chat Now page, like it, and comment there so I can recognize you. Money Chat Now is, of course, brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can even attend a complimentary class tonight by going to investorschooling.com, and there you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. All right, on today's show, we're going to be talking about the futures update. We're going to be talking about a segment called Russia, Russia, Russia. We're going to be talking about interest rates, war and COVID, and of course, mail trucks. Sometimes you have to wonder, when you look at this, you have to wonder, how do I put these groups of things together? It's kind of weird. Hey, by the way, don't forget tomorrow, if you're listening to the show, it's Phone Call Friday, and if you want to call in tomorrow, we will be able to talk to you and talk to you a little bit about what's going on in the world. Hey, I just want to know also if anybody out there listened to this show yesterday, and if you enjoyed it, let me know. I got a lot of good feedback, but I'd love to know your thoughts on it as well. It was all about the State of the Union address, and if you didn't watch it, go back and watch it because it was pretty good. All right, anyway, apparently the stock market also enjoyed my show yesterday because I'm thinking that the market could not have gone up about 600 points from Biden's speech, so it must have been my show that made the stock market go up. Oil yesterday, of course, hit a recent new high of over $111 a barrel. It's kind of scary, but I still got to say it's far from the high of $147 a barrel in July of 2008. Now, I keep saying that 2008 is coming again, and it's weird because as we move towards the oil moving back up to that range, 2008 is coming again. I think it's going to be 2024, 2025 will be a repeat of 2008. So watch for it. And by the way, in 1946, oil prices were, you ready for this? $1.63 a barrel. That's right, it was $1.63 a barrel in 1946. Now, let me adjust for inflation. And if we adjust for inflation, that's only $23.11 today. So that is amazing. So oil is over 4 times, almost 6 times the price of what it was in 1946. Crazy numbers indeed. Hey, a notable stock move yesterday was a company called EPAM. Now, EPAM, and I'm not quite sure, I got to be honest, I'm not quite sure why they moved so high, but they were up like 16% yesterday. And I don't know, my guess is they probably have something to do with cybersecurity, which has been hot. I know they're a technology company, but I didn't see anything about cybersecurity, but it's been pretty hot for the last few days. Of course, energy and oil companies were also hot the last few days, along with, of course, war weapons manufacturers. The big earnings surprise, check this out, was a company called Snowflake. So I don't know if you guys know what Snowflake is. Snowflake is basically a cloud computing company, and the company had a terrible earnings report and plunged 30% after hours. It dropped a whopping 75 points immediately. Actually, I think it could be a good long-term play. I'm going to watch the stock and see what new patterns form, but if you want to play along with it, the symbol is SNOW, S-N-O-W, and I say, hey, it may be something to talk about. Hey, real quick, I'm going to say hello to some people online. I want to say hello to Ken and Mark and John. Ooh, look at that. We got John, who's one of my favorite liberals on the line, which is kind of cool. I'm online. And also we got Jose. Hey, everybody, talk to John on there online. I can't talk to him right now, but everybody out there, welcome to one of my favorite liberals, John, out there. All right. Anyway, the war continues, and we will have, of course, some more volatility. And as I said before, the market has a life of its own. It's all about the steak and tuna theory that I teach at investor schooling. Look, I'm going to tell you that the stock market works on this theory, and it works really well. It's called the steak and tuna theory. I teach it. I actually teach it at investor schooling. If you guys want to come tonight, you will actually be able to fully understand how the stock market works. So maybe I'll see you tonight. Anyway, the futures right now, the Dow is actually up 10 points, which is kind of weird. It's been hovering all day, all morning. The S&P is down about 1 point nothing, and NASDAQ is also down about 25. So nothing really going on here. Hey, let's talk about Russia. Don't you know you're not supposed to play ball with your neighboring countries? Anyway, the war in Europe is still here, and I'm surprised, but I'm kind of not surprised at the same time. I had been saying that the Russians were going to storm into Ukraine, and they were just going to roll over and accept defeat. Many believed exactly what I just said, and I bet you did too. I'm actually still surprised that this hasn't been the case. It's kind of a head scratcher. You know, it's clear that Putin is now getting annoyed, and he's taking it out on the Ukrainian people. And that's the sad part, is that, you know, I actually think he's not working rationally anymore. I mean, okay, he wasn't working rationally when he invaded in the first place, but I think now that's getting worse. Anyway, more and more videos of destruction are appearing on the internet, and it's truly like a war show in slow motion, or is it? So as Americans, or simply as people living in post-World War II era, maybe we just don't know how slow war really is. We see documentaries telling us about the battles and countries taking over other countries. We see movies on countries surrendering and hero movies, both fictional and based on nonfiction. And the problem is, as we watch these condensed timelines in an hour, in maybe an hour or 2 hours, we think it all happens quickly. And maybe it really does just take time. I think about the big giant bully like Russia deciding it wants to go to war with a neighboring country, and all I see in my head is planes flying over the other country and destroying it quickly. But in reality, we actually saw pictures recently of a 40-mile-long convoy of tanks driving into Ukraine, and no one is stopping them. We see the rest of the world is trying to punish Russia, for these actions, and we even see the protests of the Russian people in Russia telling Putin, I like it. We have poopy pants and pooping. Here we go. Anyway, telling Putin to stop this madness. You and I thought we lived in a world of mostly civilized people, and wars like World War II would never happen again. I often thought the next big war would maybe be, maybe against aliens or something strange like that. I never thought the leader of a successful industrialized country like Russia would be so afraid that he felt he had to take the chance of sparking major war and long-lasting conflict. The United States and other countries, no matter how weak you and I know the leadership is here and there, they really do have their hands tied. Think about it. Should Biden send troops into Ukraine? Should he send ammo? Should he send weapons? Well, if he does, then Russia cries foul and may attack the NATO countries. But in the end, does it really matter? Shouldn't we defend a country who needs help? It's like if you saw a bully picking on an old man in the street, would you interfere? You might get yourself hurt or even killed, but would you do it? Would you stop the bully? Would you fight, or would your flight or fight reaction allow you to, even if you wanted to? Well, here we are overseeing a fight between a bully and a not-so-old man. Now what? Now think about this. What will Russia actually do with Ukraine? Can they actually absorb it into their economy? What about the government? Let's say Russia knocks out Zelensky, who would take his place, and would the Ukrainian people actually follow the rule of law made by the aggressor? Would truck drivers surround the city? No joke here. Maybe the lessons we learned about the scamdemic that plagued the world will help countries like Ukraine stay free as they realize they have nothing to fear but fear itself, as Roosevelt said so many years ago. Some rumors say that Ukraine is blowing up their own buildings to leave Russia with nothing but a pile of rubble. And it may be the only possible resistance they have. I hope and pray for both the Ukrainians, and I also hope and pray for the Russians. This was a bad idea, and now you have people on both sides using their egos and emotions to make decisions. This is always a bad time to make decisions, and always a bad idea. In my opinion, it'll probably last about 2 more weeks at most. And I mean, that's the war. But not the decisions made or the damage done. That will last for a long time. We will continue to see sanctions in place, and we will continue to see two countries that have brothers and sisters living a border apart that will cry for years. It's going to be rough. Anyway, before we go to the next segment, I just want to say hello to a couple people out there, Maureen and Michael and Jose and Mick. Thanks so much for watching. I always appreciate you guys paying attention, and make sure you share it and tell other people about this. All right, let's talk real quickly about interest rates. Well, the war is coming at a time where the country needs to slow itself down. Inflation has hit us hard, and now with oil prices heading to all-time highs, we will begin to see a serious shift in interest rates. Now, Fed Chairman Powell has been saying it's time to raise interest rates, but is now faced with the war. This, of course, adds to the confusion of what to do and when to do it. It's likely that the first interest rate increase will be this month. My guess it'll be reported, before or the end of the month, and it'll be effective on or before April 1st. The question should not be, will it be by the end of the month? The question should be, will it be a half or a quarter a point? I'm pretty sure the war has just made it a limit to a quarter a point. The thing that really annoys me is that interest rates should have been raised a long time ago. Look, the scamdemic obviously held it back, but they should have been raising rates before then as well. We saw amazing growth during Obama and Trump years, and the Fed should have acted then. Okay, look, they're stuck now with incredible inflation, and it's time to do something. Do you slam on the brakes or do you ease into the stop? Whatever they do, it'll cause a rift in the stock market and, of course, the economy. Look, Biden talked the other day about helping the poor in his speech, and if you watched my take on it yesterday, you'll find that very interesting. But, he talked about helping the poor, and inflation, I got to tell you, inflation never helps the poor. In fact, it makes the rich richer and the poor poorer. If raising interest rates and increasing taxes, it basically isn't going to do anything much more than to make the rich poorer and does nothing for the poor at the same time. What a mess. I got to tell you, I'm glad I'm prepared for it. I have my gold, I have my silver, I even have cash tucked away for emergencies, and I also have plenty of real estate, which is financed at rates well below what the rates will be in 5 years. Look, these are the things that you should make sure you're doing. It's a great way to remind you. By the way, I have this event coming up. It's the Finance and Freedom event that I'm hosting on April 24th. Go to 4mmw.com, number 4mmw.com to register. Hey, by the way, John, if you're watching this, send me a PM. I will actually give you a free ticket if you show up, because there's going to be some interesting people there that I'd like you to see. Anyway, I've almost locked down the second keynote speaker, which I actually think John would have a blast watching. And when I do, demand for this event is going to pop. I was on the phone with his campaign manager yesterday, and we're close to booking someone I really respect and someone who's going to help make America great again. So go to 4mmw.com and register before the price increase and before the tickets are sold out. 4mmw. By the way, listen to this commercial and find out how to beat inflation. Let's take a break, and I'll see you in a few minutes.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse, and of course, if you'd like more information on Investor Schooling, you can go to Investor Schooling or call 866-424-2829. Hey, real quick, I want to just clarify something I said in the last segment. I am not giving free tickets away to this event. I'm only giving a free ticket away to John. He's the only one. He knows who I'm talking about because he is a absolute Democrat liberal, and I want him to be there. By the way, if you are a registered Democrat and you voted for Biden or you voted for Wolf in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania, I will even invite you to come for free too. So if you're a registered Democrat and you voted for Biden and you voted for Wolf, you could come too. I'm sure no one's going to show up, so I'm not worried about that. But John, I would love to have you there. Actually, I'd love to have you there just to meet you in person. I know we've been talking for a long time. Anyway, if you're watching online, please hit that share button so you can help your friends learn about how to make more money. Hit that like button. Let me know you enjoy the show, and you can leave comments on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And a couple other people out there, Peter and Lou and Moshe, thanks so much for watching. And Mark, Mark, I appreciate you telling us it sounds better today. I thank you very much. We made some adjustments based on your comment yesterday. All right, so far, by the way, the Dow is up 9 points. The S&P is up right about a half a point, and the NASDAQ, is down actually. The S&P is down a half a point, and the NASDAQ is down 24 points-ish. All right, we talked about Russia and how foolish this is, the whole thing is. We talked about interest rates, and coming up, we have war and COVID and mail trucks. And of course, we have today's picks and plays. But did you guys hit that like button yet? Did you hit that share button? Don't forget to leave comments on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. And if you're listening on WWDB Radio, be sure to set a preset to this station and listen every day at 7:30. Also, look up Money Chat Now on Facebook when you get home, and let me know what you think of the show. Hey, John, you got to let me know what you think of the show. All right, let's get into the second half. Let's talk a little bit about war and COVID. All right, the other day, if you were listening, I made fun of FEMA when I explained that FEMA actually posted on their website what to do in a nuclear attack. Ugh. Of course, I made fun of the idiocy when FEMA suggested that as you die of radiation poisoning, make sure you're wearing a mask and social distancing from the other people dying of radiation poisoning to not spread COVID. I concluded from that report that I will make sure that I have my mask and my 6 feet distance markers on the floor of my bunker to make sure that I don't get COVID while I die of radiation poisoning. By the way, FEMA morons, did you know that do you know the average size of a shelter? Come to think of it, they're actually saying that, think about this, they're actually telling people to send people away from shelters because now we don't have enough room in the shelter because we need to social distance these people. I didn't even think about that the other day. How dumb is this? I have so many questions, and of course the biggest one is, how can college-educated people be so stupid? Well, now that I went down that rabbit hole, oh wait, did I social distance while I was in that rabbit hole? I hope not. Well, I hope so. Huh. I wonder if I'll get rabbit COVID virus or rabbititis. Rabbititis! For those of you who used to watch Bugs Bunny, you got that joke. All right, never mind. Getting back to what I wanted to report, it seems that another dumb agency is worried about the war in Ukraine and how it will spread coronavirus. Yep, the morons are back at it. This time, the World Health Organization is reporting that the mass displacement of people in Ukraine will increase COVID transmission, warning that large numbers of people at risk of severe disease as oxygen supplies are critically low. All these people, I don't know, are these people in the WHO locked up in a room without contact of normal people? Nothing in that sentence even made any sense. Let me read the sentence again, just so you understand. This time, the World Health Organization is reporting that the mass displacement of people in Ukraine will increase COVID transmission, warning that large numbers of people are at risk of severe disease as oxygen supplies are critically low. Hey, morons at the WHO, these people are running from a real threat. The threat of their homes and cities being destroyed. They aren't worried about your scamdemic anymore. Wait, it gets better. Listen to the choice of words a senior advisor at the WHO, Dr. Bruce Aylward, uses to describe the risk. He actually says infectious diseases ruthlessly exploit the conditions created by war. No, Dr. Aylward, people like you exploit disaster to get your funding to keep exploiting disasters. He goes on and on about how the WHO will be helping the injured in war. And all I can think about are the scenes from the old 70s show MASH. Remember the old 70s show MASH? Imagine this. Radar is announcing in a muffled voice over the loudspeakers, "Attention all personnel! Soldiers are rising!" Then you see the choppers with the pilot wearing a mask, landing the wounded in a field with their arms and legs missing, but they're happily wearing their masks. Look, Doc, I got my mask on! Right before the announcement, Hawkeye and Trapper are sipping their martinis as they pull down their masks for a sip and then quickly put them back. Each one of the people they operate on and all the soldiers in the recovery room are also wearing masks as they joyfully recover from their amputations and their guts being rearranged. Of course, there's Frank Burns, the ultimate mask Nazi. What else would he be, right? Making sure that each soldier has their mask in place. And at the end of the day, Trapper and Hawkeye return to the swamp, and Frank makes sure they're wearing their masks as they sleep. All right, what a terrible show that would have been. I don't know. When will this madness end? I just can't get over it. Let's get into mail trucks real quick. All right, I figured since I was on the what the F is going on with dumb people, I would talk about mail trucks. This one's going to surprise you too. Have you seen the cute little mail truck delivery, the little mail delivery trucks, that the post office uses to deliver mails? The ones with the steering wheel on the right side so the mail delivery person doesn't have to get out of the vehicle. The one that's really stripped down vehicle, that's light, has pretty much no frills. The vehicles that sit in the big post offices overnight and no one uses them till the next morning. You've seen them, of course, right? Now think about these vehicles and think about how these would be the perfect examples of uses for an electric replacement, right? So these would be great electric vehicles. They would charge overnight at the post office, used all day, and they would go back to a charging station. What a perfect idea. Well, the post office has just ordered thousands and thousands and thousands of new mail delivery trucks. Oh wait, did you think these were electric? No, they're gasoline powered. That's right, the Green Deal doesn't apply to the post office. I just can't believe the hypocrisy and the just plain stupidity of all the people involved in making decisions and setting policies. Well, I do have to say that the article I got the information from stated that the person in charge of this decision was, of course, a Trump supporter. Well, that certainly explains it. The article made sure to say that. Hey, of course it's a Trump supporter. Only a Trump supporter would order gasoline vehicles for the mail trucks, right? I'm seriously thinking that I no longer want to vote for Trump in 2024 because only a Trump supporter could decide to buy gas vehicles and less of electric ones. Let's take a break now so you guys can digest today's show of stupid people.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. Of course, if you'd like more information on Investor Schooling and like to attend tonight, you can go to investorschooling.com. I'm telling you, it's going to be a great event tonight. We're going to be talking about stock options and how to make money. And if you want to make money, that's the place to be. All right, right now the futures are up 16. The S&P is down 1/4 point, and the NASDAQ is down about 30. We talked about Russia. We talked about interest rates. We talked about the war and COVID, or the really stupid people who are talking about, I don't know. And we talked about mail trucks. All right, coming up, of course, is today's picks and plays. But did you guys hit that share button, hit that like button? And, of course, you can leave comments on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And I'm watching all these people online. No one's commenting about the last statement. I think they're still trying to figure it out. Hey, if you're listening on WWDB, don't forget to set one of your presets to this channel and listen every day at 7:30. All right, let's talk about what's going on. All right, let's get into today's stock market, and we'll talk about some plays and ideas. And at least the people on Wall Street aren't stupid. They're just irrational. And that's what's making the stock market have all these wild swings. March is here now, and we should start to see a comeback. The comeback will be caused by the money managers no longer being on edge about the war. It's real. It happened. They'll no longer be on edge about interest rates, and they'll no longer be on edge about earnings. So typically, from mid-March to the end of April, which is the next earnings season, the market starts to increase. The stocks will start making their big moves, and the biggest moves right now are still the energy stocks, and if you're in them, I'm going to tell you, take your profit now. Look, they're probably going to go a little higher, but they may not be worth the risk to hold too much longer. I would start to take those profits. The defense stocks to me, are also likely short plays, believe it or not. We saw a run-up over the last week, and they're going to rise if the war escalates. Look, we all hope that the war doesn't escalate, but I also don't believe the war is going to escalate. I actually believe it's going to actually start to decrease. Look, it is what it is. Just understand that the war will definitely increase, and the stocks will start to go down. Look, in 2 weeks, Gestapo Joe's mask mandate will end in travel, and they will definitely boost the travel industry as long as the idiot in charge doesn't renew it. The industry is actually on edge over it, but I expect articles discussing the mandate ending and the travel industry moving forward. I'm heavily into AAL right now, and I still like to play. The usual suspects like Meta and Apple are always on my list. Make sure you guys come tonight. We'll talk about more. We'll talk about some stock options and some great plays. If you've never seen the stock option Sultan, you definitely want to do that. Last quick look at the futures. The Dow is down 15 points. The S&P down 4. The Nasdaq is down 42. Real quick on crypto. Crypto's making some moves. Bitcoin is about 43,000. Ether is just under 3. And the upcoming government move of regulate or trying to regulate crypto to Russia is going to be key. If they do this, it's going to be bad for crypto. If they can't do it, it's going to be good for crypto. We all don't want Russia to have money, but at the same time, the bigger picture is crypto. All right, all I can say about gold and silver is buy it, own the metal, have it ready, be ready. Make sure that you're ready to have it because you're going to need it one day, especially if war really breaks out and things are really bad, especially if the grid goes down. Look, Treasury bonds, nothing really major happening here. So, do what you got to do. Just hold out there. Don't worry about it. When the Treasury bond is over 2, we know that the Nasdaq gets affected, but I actually think the Treasury bond is going to settle in the area of, what do you think? It's probably going to settle in the area of about 2.25. Hey, I want to remind everybody that from time to time, I own some of the assets and options discussed in this show. The opinions discussed on this show is solely mine, and no one has asked me to discuss them. Hey, I want to make sure that you guys know tomorrow is Phone Call Friday, so if you guys want to call in and make some phone calls, have a blast, and make sure that you have a profitable day.